Hello everyone, welcome to the Red Men TV, where the first game of the Premier League season ended in a 3-3 draw. Liverpool-Watford, in a game that, if that's how this season is going to go, I'm not sure that I will be alive come May. Because started horrendously, go a goal behind, get it back, go. It's just like it's just like this. It was a roller coaster, I say, inefficient, graph. At times it was terrible, but at times it was really good. The first half, I think in general, though, Liverpool were really, really poor. And they never got going. And Watford very much capitalised on, again, same old as far as Liverpool are concerned. Defensive mistakes, inability to defend from set pieces. And the thing is, not like last season, that's different from last season. And I'll tell you what the difference is. We could see like directly from the set piece. Normally it takes like a mad bouncing ball and then we end up in trouble. So yeah, there was something, I guess. That Firmino didn't seem to switch on. I'll be honest, I don't understand zonal marking. I understand zonal marking. I do. I know what zonal marking is all about. I don't understand why Liverpool persist with it. But then it's not as though Liverpool are the only team that persists with it, because you can see at times, you go down the other end, Watford are defending zonally as well, and they had far less issues. Maybe it's just because they've got bigger players, who knows. But either way, it wasn't great. Sadio Mane, absolutely magnificent to get us back involved. The main problem in the first half was very much that there was zero link between midfield and attack. And, we did the team news and it was exactly what I said would happen. We know this about Liverpool's midfield. Henderson, Wijnaldum and Chan in there, there's just not enough. It's not about creativity, because all three of those players can pass the ball and all three of them got good engines and they've all got good touch. They're all good footballers, but you need to be something special to play in and around the 10 in the Premier League at a high level. You need to be a very special player. Now, we own two of those in Lallana and Coutinho, but when they're not there, I just feel like something more needs to be done. Now, you could say, well, what was the difference in the second half? And genuinely, not really sure. Liverpool just looked far more at it. We were connecting far more with our passes. We looked far more just determined. It was just night and day. And first half was everything that we fear. And by and large, the second half showed us what this side is capable of, albeit, once again, a side that gives it up right near the end. And the tricky thing for me about that game is that there's no sense in coming away positive, but when you see Klopp smile, it's not like, hey, we drew, hey. It's like, what are you meant to do there? The randomness of the equalising goal. Now, maybe there's precedent set for Liverpool throwing away points late on. I'm not sure that there is so much. I think there's more precedent. Well, there's as much precedent for us coming from behind than there is as throwing points away, I guess. Gini Wijnaldum, I thought, was horrendous, and I thought he capped off his horrendous performance with whatever that attempted header was at the end. And you could say it's offside. It might be. I think you could say that the Akaka one, even though is it technically another phase of play, I think you could argue he's offside as well in the build-up to it, no matter what depending on the interpretation of the offside rule. But it doesn't matter. Liverpool should just be better and should be tighter. It's poor. There's no other way of slicing it. You don't go away to Watford, a team that I think by all accounts will probably be scrapping around the bottom half of the table, definitely possibly scrapping for a relegation fight. I think when we started to get into gear, we should have done more to put it to bed, and I think the substitutions made were wrong. I think we got the substitutions wrong. I think I got the idea of bringing Origi on, but for me, it would have been Solanke if I was going to do that, just to offer a bit more of a physical presence. Origi, and it's not his fault, but I think the idea was meant to be to test Yunus Kabul with pace in behind, because he's got his legs strapped up at this point. He looked fine once he had his legs strapped up. That didn't quite work. I thought bringing James Milner on wasn't the best of ideas either. And then ultimately bringing Trent Alexander-Arnold off, who had a fantastic game, absolutely fantastic. And Gomez, again, I get it. I get the theory behind all these things. Gomez is just a bit taller. He is a centre-half by trade. They're going to be putting us under pressure there, again, because they're a big team. The idea of having him on is fine. But when it doesn't work, inevitably you turn towards the decisions and say, those decisions didn't work for Liverpool. So I think obviously more and better to come from the Reds. I think the big encouragement is, of course, the front three. I said on the team news show before the game, Is that the best front three in the Premier League? We'll see. We'll know more after this game. And again, Mane scoring a goal that Mane scores. Salah, not a vintage goal in any stretch, but they are the goals that Salah scores. He's so fast, he gets into dangerous positions and he reacts to things. And again, causing problems, winning the penalty, and Firmino took the penalty away brilliantly. As I've said in the pre-season preview stuff, having your centre-forward taking the pen, I think is good. That'll help him get his goal tally up. When we look good, we look very, very good. But when we looked bad, we looked abysmal. And I would be much more worried by a Liverpool side still that if that attack wasn't gelling, I'd be worried because it would put more pressure on the Coutinho situation that already I think is a very highly pressured situation. But again, it tells you that we just need to shape up at the back, and it's a shame because I thought Moreno had a good game by and large, maybe a little bit rash trying to win the ball for one of their goals. But you can lose those tackles. And again, I thought Trent was absolutely outstanding. I think, Tom and I were discussing it. I think a real contender for Liverpool's man of the match would maybe up there with Salah or Firmino, or Mane for that matter. So yeah, but I think Henderson struggled. I said Wijnaldum was terrible. I thought Emre Can had a decent game. And I thought Mignolet was pretty poor at the back as well. You just need a bit more confidence from some of these people, and it wasn't there at times. But again, Liverpool's main problem when going away against teams like this was not being able to put the ball in the back of the net. I would still contend that bodes well for us, being able to score those goals. The way the other goals go in, it's disappointing to concede, but I'd like to think, and I hope I'm borne out over the course of the season. I don't know, and you don't know, and there's no way of knowing until we see more games. But I would say that they're more. Two of those three goals are a bit weird and a bit freakish, and I think those sorts of things happen. I'm not sure they're fixed by a Virgil van Dijk, for example, being in the centre backs. Let's have a quick look at your comments then. Tom, have you got something for us?
Yeah, so we've got a few super chats. So Kakber, the FG, gave us $5 and he says, first game of the season, no need for overreactions. We'll be class within the first few games, lads. Stay positive. Come on, you Reds.
Yeah, I was concerned when we went a goal behind, and I thought the problem is that you got Trent in that team, and it's a new forward line with Salah involved, and I was like, and Arsenal were in a good position because they got the first goal, and you proved you can score a goal in the new season, whereas Liverpool had to fight their way back into it. So I'm pleased that we've shown the goal scoring prowess, because I think unless we do have some major surgery at the back, I think that's going to be the thing that gets us through by and large. So yeah, go on, Tom.
So following on from what you've just said there, Dancraft with £2 saying defence is just as shit as it was in 2015.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think Matip had a great game, but I think Matip was a good defender, and he had moments where you could see how good he is. He showed his class, but particularly in the first half, his passing was woeful, but then the whole team's passing was abysmal. I don't think the centre-backs covered themselves in glory by any stretch of the imagination, but I would say that there were a few signs of encouragement, but yeah, again, kind of irrelevant when you've not won the match. Go on.
Gaddy Paul, £2, saying enough is enough, FSG out.
I'm not sure they were the one who failed to get Gini Wijnaldum to head it clear, if I'm honest. I'm not getting into the FSG thing here and now. I know Gary's very much got the agenda to throw it out there. And fair play to him, but yeah, I can't see how this is FSG's fault. FSG give money to the people who control transfers at Liverpool, and then they go and sun themselves in Boston, and then the people responsible for making the transfers or not making the transfers are the ones at fault, if nothing else. But yeah, go on.
Adam Clooney, he's gave us €4 in total. Calm the fuck down. First game sold the season. You'll never walk alone.
I don't know what that means, but yeah, calm the fuck down. I agree. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest. I totally agree with this. I've not walked away devastated from that match, because if we could have lost that like 1-0, and we could have struggled to cause any problems for the opposition team. Whereas, well, it maybe is a touch of an extension of last season, maybe the season before or whatever, that we need to be more solid defensively. Agreed, but again, the thing for me that stands out is our ability to cause teams problems at the other end, and if that was lacking, I think we'd have a real problem, but it isn't, so I don't think we do. Go
on. Mark Yearwood, I don't know what, sorry mate, he just gave us £5, so nice one for that.
Brilliant.
Andre Rossville with the equivalent of £5.
Cool.
Buy some fucking players done with this FSG shit.
Again, like I say, I know it's become a bit of a tagline. It's become a bit, I'll be honest, I think that it's become a bit cheap. It's like become an expression for like FSG. It's like fuck my life when you kick you stub your toe. It doesn't mean that your life needs fucking. It just means that you need to not stub your toe. It's your fault. But yeah, Liverpool just needs to go and get things done. The money's there to spend, and if you think that's not true, I think you're looking to make yourself miserable. There's clearly money to be spent, and it's on Liverpool now to go and spend that money. Because I agree that there's defo strengthening that needs to be done there.
Callum Sanderson with £5. Gini looked okay defensively, not going forward. Moreno looked like a new Moreno. And we have a corner taker who can beat the first man.
So I'm not sure about the defensive side of things particularly, but for me, I just thought Gini was horrendous. And I'll be doing the play rating shortly, so obviously tune in for that on the YouTube channel. But I thought Gini was terrible. Moreno was good, really good. And I say maybe that smaller side of, was he at fault for the goal by being a little bit too ambitious trying to win the ball back? Maybe he was, but I thought in general the way he supported the attack, I don't think he looked a liability, which I think he has done at times. So yeah, fine. And Trent Alexander-Arnold on set pieces is a 19-year-old kid. He's come in a year ago. He was not in contention for these games, and now he's taken all Liverpool set pieces, and he was very, very good. So yeah, all the credit to Trent.
Adam Smith with £2. We proved by the bench we need more depth. Mane was you'll have to do that. That yeah.
Sounds okay. A-okay? Yeah, I think so. I think we were maybe one player. I think again, if you put if Lallana or Coutinho are available in that, then it means Emre or Wijnaldum are on the bench. And even then, I would agree that maybe one more really talented attacking midfielder would make that side look a little better. Or even, to be perfectly honest, if we'd maybe had Kent on the bench instead of Origi. And I think maybe this was just a chance for Origi. As far as pecking order goes, he's higher up there. I don't think Origi did enough to... I don't think he was given opportunity to prove himself one way or the other, to be honest.
Wyatt Ebbs with $20. Credit to Watford, they didn't roll over after 3-2. However, this habit of complacency at the back is a bit worrying, but I do think we showed we can put the ball in the back of the net today, lads. Up the Reds.
Exactly, and look, I would let's look at the winning goal. You'd feel like that way, wouldn't you? Let's look at the equalising goal right to the death. And Gini Wijnaldum stoops to head it. He gets a poor headed connection on it. Simon Mignolet sticks his arm out. Like, that ball can literally go in infinite number of directions from there, but it doesn't. It hits his arm, it hits the underside of the bar, and it drops down to a guy who I think is in an offside position to knock it in. That's a freak goal. It should be better defended than the near post, but the things that go from it are freak goals. And so, I choose not to be too downhearted by all these things, but I understand that people naturally, will swing towards it being the worst. It's not the worst. I wouldn't worry too much, if I'm perfectly honest. One more, Tom?
So we've got two. Daniel Donahoe with £1. Thank you very much. And Andre Rossville with, I think it's £2. Whoever is buying players for us should get out. So it's echoing the same from before.
Listen, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks as Liverpool look towards the end of the transfer window. It would be... I interviewed Stevie this week, Stevie Gerrard, and he said, a couple of signings and one more sign, I'd be more optimistic. And I agree. I think in midfield, I think Klopp's made mention of the fact that they're on the lookout for it. I've done a video over on my channel, actually. I think the 3 transfer moves that Liverpool need to make. I call it Save the Summer. I am. As people know me, will know that I'm being funny when I use that title. I don't think it's all that bad. But yeah, after the fact, if you watch this live, it won't matter. But after the fact, watch Mates TV. I'll put that video there so you can watch it and give my thoughts on what I think Liverpool should do with that midfield slot. But yeah, look, here's the thing. I think sometimes people accuse me of putting a false positive spin on it. Again, if people think that, they don't know me well enough or haven't been watching the channel for long enough. I think there's more positives to be taken from that game as much as anything else. It is disappointing. I like to see Liverpool win football games every single time they play. That goes without saying. But I would go into the game at Hoffenheim, and I will be going into the game literally, physically, in person. Cannot wait for that. With a sense of optimism, thinking that we can score goals, because Liverpool have that in their locker, and I still would contend that, yeah, the positives that we take from that game are the ones that I think we're going to they're going to be the most important thing going forward this season. I think Liverpool can get tighter at the back. Hopefully player additions will make that a little bit easier, but if they don't, more work to be done on the training ground. And again, I would trust this management team to get that right. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. We will be doing player ratings. I will be doing your Twitter reactions to this as well. Chris is going to be doing the instant match reaction, a brand new video feature on the redmentv.com with Chris Williams doing 15 minutes or so analysing this game before the final word goes out on Monday. So get onto the redmentv.com for that. That'll be a beast. And as I say, subscribe to Mates TV, which is my channel. Watch me 3 transfer things video, and obviously check out the rest of the post-match content on the YouTube channel as well. Cheers.